So, working on this O2 Trans Am. Basically, what I'm going to show you here is a common issue with these LS1 Trans Ams. They happen to have a power steering cooler. Oh, how good you can, there you go. You can see that this inline with the radiator hose here is the power steering cooler, and it has two lines coming out from the bottom, which you probably can't see. Maybe you can. Anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that cooler altogether. This car, it's not set up for racing. It's not really an issue for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete it, because what's going on is, if you can see, that cap there has like a milky type liquid coming off the top here. There is a pressure release on the top of the cap. If you can see that when I kind of wiggle it, there it goes. See that? There's a little pinhole where it's basically set up there for pressure release, or if your fluid is overfilled, it'll pour out of that top there. So what I noticed, I haven't driven this car in a while, and it's been sitting. So I come up and I'm looking at it. I'm cleaning it up, and I look in the cap, and I've got this milky fluid in here, and basically it looks like water. So we got oil mixing in with it, and it's being slushed around. That's what it's going to look like, water and oil. So basically we got Dex Cool in there and power steering mixed together. And I remember when I parked the car about a couple months back, I parked it, I had seen this and I didn't think much of it, so I basically sucked all the fluid out. Thought it had bad fluid in it or whatnot, and I sucked it all out with my vacuum pump, and I just added fresh fluid in it, and it seemed fine, because I drove it a couple hundred miles after that, and I didn't have any issues. But I went ahead and opened it up again today, and because I saw this leaking all over the side, and that's what I saw. So basically, looking into it, it's because of these coolers, and they fail. And every car that I've had with the LS1 motor in it basically either has one of these or it doesn't, and nobody seems to know what option it was or whatnot. Some people say it, depending on the wheel size, they came with them, they didn't come with them, they came with them for power steering heating instead of cooling, because of climates and and snowy climates or whatever. But anyways, what I'm going to do, all that aside, I'm going to just take this off. I'm going to take this whole assembly off from the radiator to the water pump, and I'm going to replace it with the base model hose that doesn't include this cooler. So I'm going to put that there, and then I'm going to replace the two lines that go to it with basic lines that come with the non-cooler style, the non-cooler style setup. So basically, it's not gonna cost too much, and I don't think it's gonna affect me. If there's any adverse effects, then I'll look into replacing, or not replacing, but remanufacturing or refurbishing this unit, because this unit is actually discontinued from GM, and I can't find one that's guaranteed new or a used refurbished one. But I know that people buy them as cores, so if they're buying them as cores, that means they are repairable. But anyways, that's what I wanted to show you on this video. So number one, remove this hose, put the base model hose on it, and then you have a pressure line, which is going to stay because it's the same pressure line, and your return line is the one that's going to be the line that will need to be replaced with the correct return line. But this other hose, the secondary hose that just goes from the return section of the power steering to the pump, to the cooler here underneath here, will be just deleted. That's scrap. I might possibly be able to take the secondary line that's going to the rack straight to the cooler, which is essentially your return line at this point, because it feeds in here and it comes back through here. I might be able to cut that within the correct length here and be able to use it. So I'll be looking to do that, save a little bit of money. But if not, I'm gonna just go ahead and order the correct line. But this cooler here, if they made a new one, or if GM still produced it, I would just replace it with the correct setup here, because it, you know, obviously the car came with it. But at this point, I don't have a source for that part. So I'm going to take this apart, put it back together with the way I told you I was going to put it back, and then I'm going to keep this part here and look to refurbish it, or see where or what's causing the issue, and possibly keep it for later use on a different vehicle. Anyways, that's it for now. If you have this issue, your power steering cooler is failed. So milky fluid in your power steering reservoir equals failed power steering cooler. Alright guys, that's it for this one.